What's up, guys? Daryl from Smart Shooters, and today we are talking about the pros and the cons of owning a 2011. This is effortless. Everybody thinks they want a 2011, but do you really want a 2011? So if you follow the channel, then you know that I just recently did a first shots video of the Staccato P, which is the first 2011 I've introduced to our YouTube channel. This is my personal Staccato, and let's just say I've been in love. I see why people call it a cheat code. I'm also a firearms instructor and a FFL dealer, and a lot of people ask me, now that I got one, do I recommend one for them? Would it be a cool first gun? Should they wait? Should they get more proficient? What are the pros and cons of owning one of these? And of course I answered the questions one off, but the pros and cons question has been something that keeps coming up. So I figured it only makes sense for me to make a video and talk about the pros and cons of owning not just a Staccato, but any firearm in the 2011 platform. Now, when I say 2011, what I mean is a double stack 1911. Staccato actually coined the phrase 2011. For the sake of the video, I'll say 2011, but technically there's double stack 1911s that aren't Staccato, like the Springfield Prodigy, like the Apollo 11 from Live Free Armory, like Nighthawk Customs, the list goes on. So we're gonna talk about the pros and the cons of owning the 2011. And of course, because of the way people's brains are wired, you guys wanna know all the negative things first, right? So let's talk about the cons of owning a 2011. The first con is the cost of the gun. To some people, that may not be a con, but to a lot more people, that is a huge barrier of entry, is the cost of the gun. This Staccato MSRPs for $24.99. And that's still with a huge wait time. There's like a $300 upcharge to get it in less than 30 days. You're better off going to a site like Gunbroker and buying it from a dealer who already has it in stock than you would be ordering from the site, because they take forever and they're extremely expensive. This is a case where I would argue it would be okay for you to look for a used one and try to save yourself $500-600, because these are expensive. My second con would be, in that same vein, cost of accessories. All right, mags are not cheap. Mags are like $60-70. Accessories are expensive. I was looking at replacing the grip. This grip module is polymer and is separate from the steel frame and steel slide. I was going to replace this as I keep actuating my leg, only to find out the grip that I was looking at, that I completely loved by the way, was $750. No way would I pay the price of a fully kitted up Glock for just the grip module. Like, I'm not there in my 2011 journey. There's no shame if you're not there in your 2011 journey. I definitely think that the cost of accessories is definitely a con. And I am speaking from the perspective of a Glock guy who's used to paying maybe a couple hundred tops for a trigger, used to paying 50, 60 bucks for an optic plate, as opposed to the $140 I gotta pay for a Dawson Precision optics plate for my Staccato. There are other options. I think C&H Precision makes some, but for the most part, every accessory you're going to want to modify this thing is expensive. Third is this thing requires a lot more maintenance. This is not a Glock. You cannot run this for hundreds or even thousands of rounds without at least lubing it. We have a video coming out with a Glock that is filthy. It's got thousands of rounds on it without cleaning, because I want to see how long we can go. I could never do that experiment with this gun. I would say 500 rounds tops, and you got to break this up and put some lube on it. Otherwise, you're going to have a bad day at the range, or worse when you need it. Next, we have probably my biggest complaint with the 2011 platform, and that is the grip safety and the manual safety. These are killing me in my training right now. Now, just being honest, because I'm big-handed, there was a couple times that I was just shooting that I was accidentally actuating the safety. I've been trying to get adjusted to this platform, and I keep accidentally hitting the safety. I don't know if it's because I got big hands, or the other thing is when I decide to use the safety as a gas pedal, because that's kind of how I've been defeating it, is I've been using my thumb to kind of ride the safety like a gas pedal. But the other thing that's absolutely killing me is my holster draws and not dropping that safety. Safety. This is something I never had to worry about when I had a Glock. When I ran my Glocks, it was point and bang, and it's something that I even teach in CPL class. Safeties are not a bad thing, but you have to train yourself. Every time you touch a gun with a safety, you have to drop that safety on the draw before you go up on target. Otherwise, you're gonna get the dreaded click and not bang. The grip safety isn't too much of a hindrance for me. A lot of people rubber band their grip safeties. It's not really a big deal to me. I don't mind the grip safety. The only time that my grip safety necessarily bothers me or I'd be concerned about it is if I had to shoot offhand. Because I'm right-handed, shooting with my left hand, I have to put a lot more effort into gripping the grip safety than I do in my right hand, because guns just naturally sit in my right hand. It's my shooting hand. It's what I'm used to. These are not deal breakers. This is just something I have to learn how to defeat through training. .2. .5, but I missed. So training is the solution to this. The last con that I have with the 2011 platform is the takedown. The takedown process is really weird because you gotta try to align this snob here with the hole for this, and then you gotta take it and push out through this side, and then hope that you can push it enough without a tool to take it out. And then you gotta take out the guide rod. Now it's a toolless guide rod, but there's still a process. And I'm talking through it and not showing it because I don't want my manual reviewer to say that I'm teaching people things and then demonetize the video. Most 2011s that I've experienced do not have a toolless guide rod. They should. Dawson Precision makes a pretty awesome toolless guide rod that makes life easy. So you just take that down and then you take the barrel out the front of the slide and you're ready to clean or whatever. And that's just basic disassembly. The problem is putting it back together. If you have to use tools, then it gets even more of a headache, right? This is toolless, thank God. Thank you, Staccato. But everything isn't that simple. So the takedown process is a little bit of a process. And again, nothing that I'm talking about cannot not be defeated through training. You just gotta get used to taking it down, but it's nowhere near as fast or as easy as field stripping a Glock. It's just not. And that's okay. Now, the pros, although I only have 3 pros, and I probably generalized them, you could break it down into more than 3. But I have 3 pros, and the pros far outweigh the con, and that's why you see a Staccato in my hand. Pro number 1 is the quality. The quality of this firearm. Hopefully you guys can see it. I'm gonna add some B-roll footage here, but the quality that this firearm was made with is unmatched. Everything, there's no wiggle in this gun. There's not many guns that you could rattle that are polymer striker fire that don't rattle when you do this, all right? Everything feels like it was made for this specific gun. Everything fits just right. Tolerances are tight. There's no wiggling everywhere. These parts were made for this gun, right? The barrel feels like it was made for this exact slide. The safety feels like it was made for this exact grip. Like everything cohesively runs together. That is a huge pro, because it's not often we could say that everything about a gun was made for that specific gun. More likely we deal with more production style guns where as long as you have a part and it fits within this spec to this spec, it should be able to fit. Even if it's got some loose wiggle or play, that is not the case with 2011s. The quality is beyond me. Pros 2 and 3, I guess I could combine them together, which is the accuracy and the performance. This gun, you guys have heard me say over and over on the channel, is like a cheat code. Just going right back on target. I see why people call it a cheat code. It is, it's cheating. This is not fair. You shouldn't be able, you should not be able to just shoot this flat. It doesn't make sense how accurate this gun is. This gun, I've never shot a gun that it feels like as you shoot, it just returns right back to where you want it to go. Like, it's crazy. I'll add some shooting footage in here now. That happened. But the way that it just goes right back to target is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. That's the only way I know how to explain it. It's absolutely phenomenal. I use that word when describing this. Phenomenal. I can't stress it enough. The performance is sweet. A lot of people talk about the slide and how it's so smooth. It feels like it's on ball bearings. Like, the slide is smooth. It's smooth. I made reference to it in another video. I feel like my grandmother could rack this slide, which is crazy. Now keep in mind, as I'm talking, the quality and performance of the staccato that I'm referring to does change amongst other 2011s, right? So you gotta take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, because there are some 2011s, Springfield Prodigy, that may not run to the same level of quality. And then there are people out there who are arguing that the Prodigy is just as good as the staccato. And I believe those people work for Springfield some type of way. They got some type of backdoor or something, because I just don't see it. Anyways, the performance, the accuracy, the way I can feel confident, and I shot this with iron sights. I still haven't put a red dot on here, but the way I have confidence out to 100+ yards with this gun is unreal. I'm telling you, the quality, the performance, the accuracy far outweigh any of the cons. So if you're thinking about getting into a 2011, I clearly recommend it. The quality, the performance, the accuracy far outweigh any of the cons I mentioned. The cons are really just to get you prepared. So if you're thinking about getting a staccato, a Springfield Prodigy, an Apollo 11, even if you want to step it up to big dog and get an Infinity or a Nighthawk or the Type A EG11, regardless of what 2011 you're looking to get into, from a $1,000 one to a $15,000 one, all you need to know is that there are pros and cons to owning one. You have to decide, do the pros outweigh the cons? Shooting this, I can tell you the pros far outweighed the cons. Far outweighed the cons. It's not even a question. Based on shooting performance of this gun, and I got about maybe 900 rounds through it so far, with iron sights, no red dot yet, going back old school. So, what do you guys think? If you're a 2011 owner, go in the comments. Let us know if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Even if I don't know you, if I know this like I know I do, you take this 10 out of 10 over any striker fire gun. So, that's it. Thanks for watching, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell so you don't miss when I drop Smart Shooter videos. Let's go. Let's go. I'll see y'all on the next video.